Hey everyone, we're jumping right into a topic that trips up a lot of people on the NMLS SAFE exam. We're talking about the attorney exemption. You're going to want to know this one cold, so let's break it down and make sure you're ready to ace this question on test day. All right, first things first, let's start with the absolute bedrock rule of the entire SAFE Act. It's the foundation for everything else. Super simple. If you're going to act as a mortgage loan originator for someone's home, you have to be state licensed or federally registered. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay, but here's where it gets a little tricky, and you can bet this is a classic NMLS exam kind of question. What about other licensed pros, like lawyers? What happens when an attorney is helping out a client and what they're doing starts to look and feel a lot like loan origination? Do they have to stop everything and go get an MLO license too? And the answer is no. But, and this is a huge but, it's not a free pass. The SAFE Act has a specific carve-out for this, and it's called the attorney exemption. It says that a licensed attorney doesn't need an MLO license, even if they're doing MLO-type stuff. But, and this is the part you've got to remember, this exemption is not automatic. It only kicks in if they meet some very specific conditions. So what are those conditions? Well, it all boils down to a super simple two-part test. Just think of it like two hurdles the attorney has to clear to qualify. First, whatever they're doing has to happen as a real part of an attorney-client relationship. And second, they have to be playing by all their own professional rules, ethics and all that. Let's actually break down what each of those really means. Okay, so let's zoom in on that first condition. The key word here is incidental. The MLO activity can't be some side hustle for the lawyer. It has to be a natural part of the legal work they're already doing. So, for example, say an attorney is handling a divorce. As part of that, they help their client negotiate some mortgage terms. That fits. See, they're acting as a lawyer first, not as some public mortgage broker. And now for the second condition. This is really important. Just because the attorney doesn't need an MLO license in this scenario doesn't mean it's the Wild West. They are still totally accountable to their own profession's super strict code of conduct, which is enforced by the state bar. The SAFE Act basically recognizes that, hey, there's another high standard of professionalism already in place here. So you might be wondering, why are we going this deep on one little exemption? Because the NMLS exam isn't just about memorizing rules. It's about understanding how they apply, their scope, their limits. This whole attorney exemption thing, it's the perfect way for the test to check if you really get where the SAFE Act's authority starts and where it stops. And this chart really lays it out plain and simple. On one side, you've got your licensed MLO. Their whole world is originating mortgages, and they're regulated by the SAFE Act and NMLS. Then, on the other side, you've got our exempt attorney. Their main job, legal services. Their regulator, the state bar. And any mortgage stuff they do is just a small, incidental part of helping a specific legal client. It's two totally different lanes. So, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. Having a law degree is not an automatic get-out-of-MLO licensing free card. An attorney isn't exempt just because they're an attorney. They absolutely have to pass both parts of that two-part test we talked about. It has to be part of the attorney-client relationship, and they have to be following all their professional rules. All right, to wrap things up, let's do a quick scenario just like you'd see on the exam. Imagine an attorney takes out a big ad online that says, "Need a mortgage? Our law firm has the lowest rates." So, based on what we've just covered, does the attorney exemption apply here? The answer is a hard no. And why? Because they're advertising to the general public. That means it's no longer an incidental service for an existing client. They're now holding themselves out as a public mortgage business. And that's the line they cannot cross without an MLO license. Knowing that distinction is absolutely key. Thanks for tuning in.